Hey everybody, this is Kevin Davidson, your host for Kevin's Corner, Real Estate from a Marketing Perspective, and this is episode number 55. So I am climbing up there on the episodes, and I appreciate everybody that tunes in. I always tell everybody that I don't do this podcast for me. It's not about me, it's about my guests, the agents and the vendors that are on the podcast, so they can promote their business. So to all of the vendors and agents that have been on the podcast so far, thank you very much, and all of you agents and vendors that will be coming up in the future, I really appreciate it. I also have to say that if you want to be on the podcast and you haven't been, and you're an agent or a vendor that operates in the Fort Bend County area, give me a call, 832-654-0527, or email me at kevin.davidson@stewart.com. I'll be more than happy to put you on the calendar. And last but not least, I could not do the podcast if it wasn't for my support team, which is Jennifer Smitis, the division president for Houston, Caitlin Kornick, Devin, the escrow officers here in the Sugar Land office, and Wendy Santana, the escrow officer in the Richmond office, as well as our processors and assistants and front desk and everybody that works there. So I couldn't do it without you guys. In saying this, let's get started with episode number 55. I'm very excited about this episode because I have a guest that wears several hats, and she's a friend of mine, and she's a friend of other friends of mine. First time she's ever been on the podcast. This is Anita Horne.
Hi.
Say hi to everybody.
Hello.
So Anita is a real estate agent. She is part of WCR. She has a doctorate degree. There's probably a few more things that we're going to find out about her today. So why don't you introduce yourself, tell everybody who you are real quick, and we'll get started.
All right. Well, I am so happy to be here, so thank you for having me. Yeah. I am Anita Horne, and I go by Dr. Anita, and I do have a doctorate degree in organizational leadership and management. I am from corporate America and wanted to transition to real estate because it is the right thing to do and be an expert in that area. So I do wear many hats, and I use that to my advantage. My career has been very good to me and for me. So now transitioning to something new, and of course looking at what that transition plan looks like down the road sets you up for success. So I appreciate the friendships that I've made along the way, including yours.
Well, thank you. And just so you know, guys, she's only been a real estate agent for a little over 2 years.
That's correct.
And she's doing all the stuff you're fixing to hear about. So this is an example of someone that took the bull by the horns and just dove in and didn't worry about anything or anybody. She just became successful right out the bat. So tell everybody, you said you came from corporate America. What were you doing in corporate America, and why did you transition to real estate?
I have a background in social work, so I was a social worker. Okay. I have an undergraduate and a master's in social work, so that led me into healthcare. For years, I said I need to get out of this healthcare industry. It's going to take me out of here. And from there, I started walking up the ladder into those professions and became an administrator, and then just started out in that leadership role. And then when I reached my glass ceiling, if you will, I realized that I needed to do something different. That took me back to school to get my doctorate. And then I started my own company in diversity and inclusion. So I have a company called Fostering Healthy Solutions, and we teach organizations how to grow their teams and their groups and how to be inclusive with intentionality of doing that. Okay. So when I decided that I need to be a part of the community that I live in and the people that I know, that I grew up with, that I wanted to be that change agent for, I wanted to teach them what wealth looks like. But I couldn't do that because I didn't know the industry. I didn't know what that meant to have ownership in property and not just say I need money in the bank, because that's not where it is. That if you're not replenishing that money, it goes away. And so what better way to do that than to become an expert in the real estate industry? Didn't get in it, Kevin, to sell real estate. I got in it to teach others how to be a part of this process of wealth by ownership of something else. Yeah. And it changed my life because it totally flipped that, yes, I need to be selling real estate while I'm educating my clientele on what that looks like and in my community.
Do you invest in or teach people how to invest in real estate?
I do not.
From a wholesaler or a buy and hold perspective, or just generational wealth?
Generational wealth. I don't even do, I would love to get into the commercial space, and I'm actually learning more about that. There is a lot to learn. There's a wealth of information and things that you have to learn, and that, yes, I took the bull by the horns and just went to running. And so I believe that where you start is just like teaching a baby. They cannot walk before they learn how to crawl, and how they learn how to be stable and to stand up straight. So that is how I approach the people that I try to educate. And where that start is, it isn't starting with investing in real estate, because you need to know how. You need to first of all own your own property.
Right.
You need to first of all have your own house. Renting is not where you need to live and then say, oh, I own all of these investment properties. So I really do like to take it from the very beginning with individuals.
Awesome. And now you're in real estate. Tell everybody who your broker is.
My broker is an amazing, amazing lady, Rhonda Gilbo, Dr. Rhonda Gilbo. Ooh. Shout out to Rhonda Gilbo and Prosperity Realty Group. You know, Rhonda was a friend of mine before I got into real estate, and I called her to pitch my idea of why I wanted to do this. And she says, girl, yes, do it. And I think you'll be amazing at it. She has been my champion cheerleader from the very beginning, and she continues to be such a dear friend. She is why I know you, Kevin. Is at any class that you were teaching, she's like, this is where you need to be. And I've taken so much and learned so much. I didn't want to be that number in real estate, and so I'm very happy that she's taken me under her wings, and she is certainly a great mentor and a wonderful friend. And I believe that I would not be where I am today in this industry. She's introduced me to so many different avenues and doors in this real estate industry that I would not have known had I did not know Rhonda. So I'm very appreciative for her.
Rhonda's one of those people that if you don't know her in real estate, then you need to meet her.
You need to know her, yes.
Her and Bo, her husband.
Yes, great people.
He's in commercial, so from what I understand.
Yes, he is, and he too is just a wealth of knowledge. They are great people.
So tell everybody, you've been an agent for a couple of years now. What kind of agent are you? What do you like? What's your specialty? What do you like the best?
I think I like the buyer side most. I've been on both sides, the seller side and the buyer side. As a new agent, many things that they tell you about, don't do this and don't do that, I do all of it. So I also do leases. And what I've learned in that arena is many people that are leasing a house or renting don't know that they could have a real estate agent to help them navigate that process. So if you are renting and not ready to buy, hit me up. I'm happy to help you walk and navigate through that process. But that also means you give back, and we walk you through what it looks like to start your own ownership, have your own house down the line, because everybody's not ready to buy yet.
It's important to understand that renters turn into
buyers,
and buyers turn into
sellers.
And when they sell a house, they got to buy another one. So smart agents realize that working with a renter could turn into 4 transactions,
5
or 5,
6, 7,
exactly.
Because you become also a referral source
over the lifetime of the relationship.
That's right.
So agents out there that I know newer agents like to work with renters because it helps them get their feet wet.
Yeah.
But don't give them up later. I know they're more work, but you get 1 or 2 that turns into a buyer, and then the dominoes start to fall, and now you got clients for life.
Absolutely.
What area of town do you like to work in, or you specialize in?
I am in the Fort Bend network, Fort Bend area, and so I cross over a little bit into Katy, but mostly Fort Bend, Richmond, Rosenberg, Sugar Land. I'm in this side of town.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about, we'll get back to your clients in a minute. Let's talk a little bit about how you've been an agent for a couple of years. So how have you built your business up to now? Where can people find you marketing wise?
Marketing has been one of the things I learned early on, and I learned that from you, Kevin. So thank you. Is how to market with intentionality. Cannot remember the name of the class, but it was along those lines that you talked about, and focusing in on one thing and doing that one thing right, and making sure you were consistent with it. So I've picked up a few tools around, and my biggest marketing strategy is simply telling everybody I meet and everybody I know. That was very hard for me. The hardest thing for me was reaching out to family and friends, because I didn't want them to laugh at me and say, okay, what are you doing now? And maybe that was in my brain that that's what was going to happen, but in actuality it was not. Some of that was a no, some of that was they probably will never give me business, but it allowed me to practice on what I needed to say and how I needed to get out there, and the referrals started to come in. And so from there, my marketing looks like, I'm going to say that to you, and then I'm going to say it to the next person, and then I'm going to say it to the next. And thus far, all of my business has come from referrals, just because I don't keep my mouth shut to anybody that I meet. Another thing that I did immediately was, and this is credited to Rhonda, is join Women's Council, which has also opened those doors, because I'm a part of that network, which also gives me different referral sources as well.
Yeah, we'll talk about Women's Council Realty in a minute. What is it in the future that, marketing-wise, that you want to start doing?
I would love to start doing more YouTube channel. I really, that's not my strength, and I recognize that.
You know that video is the number one way to market.
Yes, and I'm not afraid of it. I think I'm afraid of the time that to build. I don't even know what that means, but that's where I would like to be next, I guess I should say, is doing more where YouTube is concerned. And I've been listening, and I hear it, and making the little videos and getting started is the hardest part, I think, and not saying I have enough.
You need to get on my calendar so I can teach you how to do it.
Yes, I do. I need to get on your calendar immediately.
Yeah, video is the number one way to market anything today. So you can go to YouTube and you can type in literally, how do I use that camera? And someone has recorded a video on how to do it. I play guitar. I am not a rock star, but I play guitar. I enjoy it. And a lot of what I learn how to play is I just go to YouTube and teach me how to play this. And there's 50 videos on how to play it. I
got to take advantage
of that. And so,
you
know, when people are looking for services or products, when people are looking for real estate agents, if you've got a YouTube channel that's full of videos and topics of things, pain points that people are looking to get fixed, you're going to get phone calls, because you're addressing exactly why they're looking for you.
Yeah.
And people do business with people in this industry, with people they know, like, and trust. How are they going to know, like, and trust you if they don't ever see you or hear you? And that's one of the biggest things that sometimes I'm like, when I talk to an agent, I'm like, why don't you understand? You know, and they're like, but I don't like the camera. I always say the same thing: get over it. Because if you don't do it, your competitors are going to.
That's true.
Okay? And you don't need any fancy equipment. You don't need to be an expert. You don't need to take lessons. Just use your phone, pull up and record a video for a couple minutes, post it, and go for the next one.
Sounds good.
So that's what you should use YouTube for.
I got to do that.
All right. Tell me about, you are not just a real estate agent, okay? You are very into education, so you have quite a few designations.
Yes.
So why don't you tell everybody, just tell them when you say I'm designated, what does that mean?
Okay. Well, I will start with my PMN, Professional Management Network. Okay. And that is a designation that is approved strictly through Women's Council. Okay. So you can only get that designation through Women's Council, and it is a leadership designation that teaches you how to grow your business in a professional manner. It separates you from the rest in that professionalism, because when people work with you, they know that you know what you're talking about, because you've gone through the rigorous education that is required for that. I also have my At Home with Diversity designation, and that designation teaches you. People are scared of the word diversity now, so I certainly am happy to say that it is not about diversifying individuals to change them from who they are. It is just teaching you how to work with everyone, not just men, women. This month is Pride Month, and teaching you how to work with all individuals is really important. This month is also something we celebrate new now that didn't just happen, but Juneteenth teaches you how to work with everyone. So it is really important to me that I diversify my business, because I don't want to just work with people that look like me. I want to work with anyone that needs help, and that is really important. So I have that designation, and then I have my designation as an expert in the buyer realm. So I just, on the buyer side of deals, I have my ARB, and that is my accredited buyers representation.
So
ABR.
So you guys, if you're looking for a real estate agent that's got a lot of accolades and a lot of medals, she looks like a WWE wrestler with a big belt on and everything. This is who you need to talk to. So she seems to know what she's talking about. She's taking some time to educate herself, get some designations.
Yes.
The last thing I want to talk about is, which impresses me because you've only been an agent for a couple of years. Tell everybody about what WCR Fort Bend is and how you're involved.
Okay, Women's Council of Realtors Fort Bend. We are a national organization, so we certainly are. And we are not just for women. It is named Women's Council of Realtors Fort Bend because early on in the real estate realm, women were not allowed to have a voice or to be on a platform. They were more or less the what we know today as to be our coordinators for things of that nature, or make calls, or whatever the case might be. So Women's Council was formulated, and it has a network of individuals that is definitely about the education of. And because we are national, you can refer individuals. You get to meet these individuals across the world, and it separates you. And when people know that you're a part of Women's Council, then they know you've gone through the education. They know that you know what you're talking about when it comes to buying and selling, or whatever it is in the real estate realm. Because, or if you don't know it, you have a resource pretty much that can tell you where to look. And that's not just because you're a part of Women's Council. It is also that outreach. Like you, Kevin, I met you through someone that's in Women's Council that says Kevin is the person you need to know about this, that, or the other. So it gives you that outreach beyond. We are realtors that are a part of the community and should be giving back. So I am so excited that I became a part of Women's Council initially when I got into real estate, and I served as one of the ad hoc committees into programs last year, and this year I am the event director for the board. I sit on the board of Women's Council of Realtors Fort Bend, and I hope to run for office this year and remain in that position, because it is really important that we educate and be that connection to the community.
Yeah, I'm not involved in WCR as much as I probably could, but I have been in the past, and I'm also teaching for you guys twice this year.
Yes.
So you don't have to be just a female to be in WCR. I'm a bald-headed white guy, and they welcome me.
We love bald-headed white guys.
There you go. So I like that. That's pretty good. Good job.
Yes.
But so you don't have to be a female real estate agent to be part of WCR.
That's correct.
So if you're a guy, don't shy away from it. They have, what you guys call them, chapters, or
we have networks. There are 8 networks in the Houston area, and so they're pocketed in your area, so you don't have to drive far to get connected to a women's council in your local area. It's added value with education. We provide education. We provide CEs, which you will be doing for us as well. We provide networking and industry events. So everything that we do is intentional about helping individuals grow their business.
If you experienced real estate agents have been doing this for a while, see the value. If you're a new agent and you're looking for a place to make new friends, meet new people, meet other agents, meet other vendors, get some education, get some help, or just ask somebody that's already been there and done that a question. WCR is a very good place to start. It's a very good place to look into. So if you're not a member or you're not attending their events or you're not being part of WCR, look into it. Give Anita a call or just look them up on the internet. It's a great place to start. Like I said, I've been in the industry for 9 years, and I've been in and out of WCR for 9 years. My career here at Stewart Title has got me so busy that I probably should be doing more with you guys, but I'm just one person, but I'm sure we will. But tell everybody, are you on social media?
Yes, I'm on social media, Kevin. And you would ask me that handle, right?
Well, if you don't remember it, it's okay. Just tell them Facebook, LinkedIn.
I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, and X now they call
Twitter,
it. Twitter, X, whatever it's called, Instagram. And I am Anita Realtor.
Okay.
So I can be found there.
Can be found there. Do you have a website?
I do have a website, and it is www.anitahorne.realtor.
Awesome. So give them your contact information.
You can reach me at 346-310-0923 anytime, or you can email me at HORNE4BIZ@gmail.com.
So I'm going to ask you one more question. This is going to be a tough one.
All
Okay?
right.
So
Alrighty.
if you say you're a buyer's agent or you like to be a buyer's agent, so if I was someone that was looking to buy a house, and I found you on the internet and I emailed you or called you and said, hey, I'm looking to find a house, and I said, this is my situation. How do you handle the initial meeting with somebody? What's the first thing that you say to them? And in addition to that, what can someone that's looking to buy their very first home, who is probably nervous and scared, they're about to take a loan out on a house for thousands and thousands of dollars, what should they know about Anita Horne?
They should know that the very first thing I say to people is, how serious are you? And tell me what you are looking for. And from there, I ask for their availability, because we need an initial consult where we can sit down and talk about what your situation is. And I give them real live examples of myself, because we have to trust each other. We become a partner in this relationship. You've got to tell me some of your business that you don't want anybody else to know. Right. And so it's really important that we build that trust, and that does not happen on the first initial consult. It takes time to build those relationships. So I like to get people to be comfortable enough to know that I'm here for you. I work for you. And we're going to get the best deal done, but I'm going to be honest about that along the way. So those pain points will be good for, yes, you have to be transparent.
Yeah. A lot of people, I want to buy my first house, and, I make $40,000 a year, and I'd love to buy that $600,000 house. And you have to just sit them down and just say, hey, I would love to too, but it's not going to happen. And, but you have to learn how to tell them that and break that to them so they can come down to reality. And then when you get down to reality and the expectations are on the table, then you can help them.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Tell everybody one more time your email address and your phone number.
Okay. Anita Horne, Dr. Anita, and my email is Horne, HORNE, the number 4, BIZ@gmail.com. My website is www.anitahorne.realtor, or you can just simply call me or text me at 346-310-0923. I would love to hear from you, even if that's just for questions.
Very good. Thank you very much for being on today's podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Episode number 55. I don't know if I've had, and I don't want to upset anybody, but I don't know if I've had such an educated agent on the podcast today. And don't say anything to Rhonda, because I know she's got her doctorate too. So, but she's also with Prosperity, right? Prosperity Realty.
Prosperity Realty.
All right. Give me your phone number one more time.
346-310-0923.
Anita Horne, everybody.
Anita Horne.
So, everybody, thank you very much for tuning in to today's podcast. This is episode number 55, Kevin's Corner, Real Estate from a Marketing Perspective. Like I said in the beginning, if you're an agent or a vendor that operates in the Fort Bend County area and you would like to be on the podcast, give me a call, 832-654-0527, or email me at kevin.davidson@stewart.com. And again, I have to thank Jennifer Smitis, Caitlin Korner, Devin, Wendy Santana, and all of my support staff. If you're not closing at Stewart Title, specifically Sugarland Richmond, shame on you. You'll be hearing from me soon. You guys have a great week. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.